Alrighty, hello, and welcome back to another week of the LSBA. This is Season 9, Week 3, and my team, the Seattle Staraptors, are going to be facing off against one of the new teams in the league this season, the East Hill Elgyems, rather. So, just to quickly recap, I'm going to go over my team like usual. We'll recap the opponent's team, then we'll see what we brought. So, our roster is Heatran, Kirim, Landers T, Ninetales Alolan, Como, Primarina, Alakazam, Mandibuzz, Poltegeist, Arctozolt, Mega Abomasnow. And then our opponent's roster is this one: Mega Lopunny, Magnezone, Slowbro, Serperior, Zeraora, Victini, Tyranitar, Ribombee, Amoonguss, Nihilego, and Skarmory. So our team has a pretty threatening roster lineup against a hail team such as ours. I feel like they've got a mega threatening Mega and Mega Lopunny. They've got a couple of good steel types in Magnezone and Skarmory. Our team is very weak to rock, so I would expect Nihilego to show up today, as well as Tyranitar potentially. They've got a strong fire type in Victini. And so their whole roster is just loaded with not only really good Pokemon, but Pokemon that match up against our kind of ice theming here. But nonetheless, I think that we have put together something decent for our match today. So let's take a look at what we've brought. So here's our lineup. We're bringing Mega Abomasnow, Alolan Ninetales, Mandibuzz, Arctozolt, Landers Therian, and Poltegeist today. So I'm just going to quickly run through to the sets and give a little bit of explanation behind each. So first off is our Mega Abomasnow. This set is very similar to what we've been running on this Pokemon for the last couple of weeks. So we're leaning hard on Ice Shard as usual, running Sword Stance Substitute again this week. I think it was last week maybe that I ran the Substitute and managed to get it off, or was it week 1? I can't remember. Either way though, I've gotten the strategy to work once or twice. And then Earthquake is our coverage move of choice. Although my opponent does have a bulky water type in Slowbro, my opponent just in general has a lot more things that are weak to ground. So we're bringing an Earthquake over something like Woodhammer. We're going with a Light Clay Ninetales this week, so we are going to very heavily be trying to lean into Aurora Veil to kind of cushion some of the blows that our opponent might be dealing us. So we've got that, we've got Hypnosis, Weather Ball over Blizzard or Freeze Dry this week. So my opponent's only water type is Slowbro, which Freeze Dry might be good against that, but I'm not counting on Ninetales to be matching up against Slowbro necessarily. And so with Weather Ball, not only is it accurate outside of the hail, but my opponent has Tyranitar, so in case my opponent tries to set up the sand, this way we have a utility move, and the fact that we can potentially fire off like a rock type attack is what Weather Ball becomes in that weather. So we're running that over Blizzard, basically, and Moonblast. We're running a pretty typical defensive Mandibuzz this week. We're max bulk, physically defensive oriented. With leftovers, Roost, we've got U-Turn. This week we are running Foul Play. Mega Lopunny resists it, but still takes a lot of damage just because it's pretty frail, and it nails a lot of our opponent's other physical attackers pretty hard. And then of course Defog. Once again, my opponent doesn't have a lot of things that can set Stealth Rocks, I don't think. They've got basically like Tyranitar, they've got Ribombee with Sticky Web potentially. I can see somebody sitting Sticky Web against me. Maybe. Nihilego probably gets Stealth Rock, Skarmory can Spike and Rock, so my team is so weak to Rock just in general that I fully expect my opponent to be packing Hazard, so Defog is important. We're busting up the Slush Rush Arctozolt again this week. Life 4, we've got Stomping Tantrum, Bolt Beak, Icicle Crash, Low Kick. Pretty self-explanatory, we're just going to try and go fast and hit things. Since Arctozolt is faster than Slowbro naturally, even if the hail's not up, we can still come in and like Bolt Beak it to death, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes, Our choice Starfuser this week is actually going to be Landers Therian. I think this is going to match up really well against this opponent actually, because again, a lot of my opponent's Pokemon are weak to ground, and so I think a fast Earthquake is going to be invaluable in this matchup. It doesn't quite OHKO, but it puts a big dent in Mega Lopunny, OHKO's Magnezone, Slowbro doesn't appreciate U-Turn or Knockoff, Superior, we probably U-turn into. Zeraora is weak to Earthquake, Victini is weak to Earthquake, Tyranitar is weak to Earthquake. You get the idea here. Basically, for a lot of these faster threats, and my opponent's team is very fast, actually. It's kind of crazy fast, a lot of these Pokemon. Having a fast Choice Scarfer like this, or a fast Earthquake like this should be useful. U-turn for pivoting, knockoff for utility, explosion for a little bit of extra oomph in case we come in against something like, I don't know, Moongus or Slowbro maybe, and need to just finish him off. And then last but not least, we're running Poltegeist for the first and last time this season. So this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I've actually traded Poltegeist away this week for Cloyster, which I'll talk about that in more depth next week, but I decided that we should try and give Poltegeist at least one run through before we trade it away, because starting week 4 it's no longer going to be on our roster. So we're running White Herb, Shell Smash, Cursed Body, Shadow Ball, Stored Power, Strength Up. So again, this is a pretty standard Poltegeist set, nothing too fancy here, but I think it matches up relatively well against our opponents this week. Stored Power, more than Oko's, Lopunny, Shadow Ball is just a great neutral attacking move. And then we can even like potentially Strength Zap, like stall out a Lopunny. If it comes in and fakes us out, we can potentially go for like a Strength Zap and then a Stored Power, or I don't know. See, I don't know if this will necessarily be good, but I wanted to give it a try. My other option for this week was like maybe Alakazam or maybe Como is probably what I would have brought, but alas, we're gonna give Poltegeist a try here. So without further ado, I'm going to contact my opponent and we'll get into the battle. Alrighty, here we go. So it looks like my opponent has brought Slowbro, Nihilego, Mega Lopunny, Victini, Skarmory, and Zeraora. So I think this is pretty much what I expected, right? The Nihilego makes a lot of sense. We have so many Rock-weak Pokemon. The Victini makes a lot of sense. The Zeraora makes a lot of sense. The Lopunny makes a lot of sense. The Skarmory is probably going to be setting up Stealth Rocks in our face. I'm trying to remember. Let me just refresh myself really quickly. Is there anything that we're glad that we didn't see? It's nice not to have to deal with Superior, certainly. No Sticky Webs is nice, no Tyranitar is nice. No Amoonguss is really nice. Okay. So, let's see, what do we lead here? So I do want to get Aurora Veil up sooner than later, but I think leading Ninetales rather is a little risky. Trying to think, so like it feels like we could just lead Landorus, but that's kind of risky, right? Like, if we lead Landorus and my opponent leads, like, a Choice Scarf, HP Ice, Nihilego or something, that'd be kind of bad for us. But my opponent may also just lead, like, Lopunny and try and fake something out or something. So I'm thinking maybe the Landorus lead does make sense. We'll have to be careful, just because I simply do not want Landorus to come in and immediately get KO'd. Because we need it for like Victini and Zeraora in particular. Alrighty, so I think, yeah, I'm just gonna commit to that. I don't want to lead Ninetales, I don't want to lead Abomasnow, I think. Mandibuzz isn't a good lead, Poltegeist isn't a good lead, so Landorus it is. Alright, so here's the Nihilego, which its maximum possible speed is 335. It's got a higher base speed than us. Do I risk the Biscuit? I mean, I could just click Earthquake here, immediately reveal my Choice Scarf, but potentially take out this Rock-type Pokemon right off the bat. I think I'm gonna do that. This is such a easy shot to take, right? So let's just go for it. Alrighty, so my opponent is just going to call the Earthquake and swap into their Skarmory here. That's fine, that's fun. Let's see, just looking at my opponent's team, they do have Volt Absorb on Zeraora, so we can't just like spam Voltbeak with impunity, unfortunately. So, and even though it's not typical, I feel like this Skarmory could be packing like a Steel type move, so I'm a little hesitant to just switch straight into Ninetales here. We don't have knockoff on Mandibuzz, unfortunately. This is kind of tough already. I think here I can pretty safely hard switch into Abomasnow here, just because we don't like strictly need Abomasnow. Here comes Spikes, that's fine. I'm going to Mega Evolve and throw up a substitute, I think. I have to Mega Evolve per our league's rules. You have to Mega the first time that you're Mega casts, or not casts a move, uses a move. But, I mean, I think we can substitute and then see what happens from there. We can suss out if this Skarmory has an offensive move or not, or any of those kinds of things. So let's go ahead and Mega substitute. Okay, here's Iron Defense. That's unfortunate. So, does that mean that this Skarmory is going to be an Iron Defense user? I suppose that is a thing that can happen. Which, if that's the case, that's not the worst thing in the world. But it's not great, because Skarmory being a physically defensive Pokemon means that even if we Swords Dance a lot, we won't, like... What's the word that I'm trying to get at here? Even if we Swords Dance a lot, we won't be able to do a lot of damage with Ice Shard. So... Ooh, this is a tough call. Okay, let me pull up the damage calculator here really quick. Defensive Spikes, Iron Defense Body Press, that seems reasonable. That seems like what we could be. So let's go ahead and click only show imported sets. Let's look at our Abomasnow for this week. And +2 defense Skarmory. Oh, this is supposed to be a Mega Abomasnow though. So, the stats are a little bit better than this. Oh, here we go. Mega. So Body Press will just OHKO us, honestly, which is not great. It's definitely not great. Yeah, that's really, really not good. Because Earthquake is going to rock our socks off, I think. So, I'm just gonna use Ice Shard here, I think. We're gonna do a little bit of pity damage and let the Skarmory break our substitute, basically. But from here we gotta make some lateral plays, right? So I think I'm actually just aggressively going to go into Poltegeist here. Let's see if my opponent calls it and uses a not fighting type move. They did not. And we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna Shell Smash right off the bat and see if we can't, maybe not sweep, but do a little mini damage dealing session here. Got a notepad document up and ready. See, because so, the Ice Shard didn't do a lot, but what it did do was it broke Skarmory's Sturdy, thankfully. So we can theoretically Shell Smash and then immediately go for a Shadow Ball. And hopefully that will do okay for us. So my opponent's just going to Spike Set. Oh, Hail ended, but they're at 99%, so we can still click Shadow Ball here. If my opponent wants to go out into Lopunny, that is A-okay. They're going to go into Zeraora, and it's just going to die. Alright. So Poltegeist takes out Zeraora. Lord Arthur Montgomery is in the house. Alrighty, so up next is the Nihilego. This could very well be a Focus Sash set, but even if it is, Nihilego is typically a special attacker, and Poltegeist actually has pretty good special defense, so we're just gonna click Stored Power. It is not Focus Sash, so that works fine for us. Poltegeist takes out Nihilego. Alright, so we may very well just have a sweep on our hands here. Because we can pretty well cover everything on my opponent's team. Poltegeist takes out Slowbro. I see in the chat, Will Rip says my opponent. Chartwick says, is Poltegeist gonna win this for Ronder before he callously drops him? The cheese is here. Poltegeist might win this for us before I casually drop him. We shall see, we shall see. So against Victini, we click Shadow Ball. Oh, okay, so we see that this is a Scarf Victini though. And it is in fact faster than our Poltegeist even at +2 speed. So that's a little concerning for sure. We're going to click Stored Power, but my opponent's going to hit us with a Fake Out anyways, which is okay. That should be fine. The thing that sucks is that I think that Victini can just casually come in and murder Poltegeist, right? Like if it's Victini, like mixed attacker, he doesn't have any attack boosts, like V-Create's just gonna come in and do like 100% to us. So that's definitely a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world, not the end of the world. My opponent's Fake Out got Curse Bodied, which obviously doesn't matter so much. So we're gonna click Stored Power again. Like Strength Up is technically an option that we can use, but like we don't need HP back. We just need we need to do damage to something. So we're just gonna Stored Power again. That'll take out Mega Lopunny. And so now we are at a crossroads where we know that the Victini is Choice Scarf. That's really helpful information, actually. I don't think it's worthwhile to try and preserve Poltegeist. We don't need it for the Skarmory so much, because we have, like, we have options for the Skarmory, right? Or do we? Now that I think about it, against these two Pokemon, Abomasnow is actually the weakest link, because Abomasnow could not 1v1 Skarmory. This is actually kind of a tricky situation. Ninetales is okay against Skarmory. Mandibuzz is not great. But Abomasnow is the worst choice. So I'm actually going to switch Poltegeist out here. And we're going to go into Abomasnow, I think. Just so we can get a clean switch into something. Get the snow up. V-Create's going to KO us, but it'll drop the speed, defense, and special defense of Victini here. So what we can do here is I'm going to go into Landorus and click Knock Off, I think, because if we knock off either of these Pokemon's items, it's advantageous for us. Because that'll stop Skarmory from having free healing, and it'll knock off the Choice Scarf from Victini. Either way, that works out for us. Because then ideally we can come in and try and like defog away the spikes later so that Poltegeist might be able to come in for Skarmory is what I'm thinking. So we're going to go into Landorus here. We'll drop Victini's attack. I wouldn't be surprised if the Skarmory swapped in at this point, just because Victini has so many stat drops. But in any case, we want to knock it off for sure. Whatever you think you want to do, knock it off, Skarmory. And so now it'll take the Hail Chip properly. So what we can do now, I'm going to take this opportunity to swap into Mandibuzz. My opponent's going to start going for Iron Defenses, which is bad for us, but it's technically okay. We just want to get a defog off here, I think. Because like we have special attacking options that we can go into. My opponent's just going to start body pressing us, which is fun. So Yeah, basically now that my opponent can only recover HP through Roost, we're just going to try and get a safe switch in to one of our special attackers, basically. And we see that my opponent is actually faster than us, so that works out to our advantage, actually. So what I can do here, let me run a calculation really quickly. Skarmory, let's say at +4 defense. How much do you take from Volbeak, for example? Like 35 to 41%, which isn't a ton, but I think that'll do enough for us. So yeah, we're gonna U-turn and see what happens. My opponent's just going to Roost. That's A-okay. So my opponent is at just +2 defense still, which is actually manageable. That means that we will actually do quite a bit more, I think, here. We're gonna do like 2-hit KO, which is perfect. So let's just go out into Snokubo here. I also forgot to track a KO. What was it that took out Abomasnow? I can't remember. It was... oh yeah, Victini took out Abomasnow, that's right. Okay. So we can just easily go for Bolt Beaks here. There's no reason to overthink anything. We're gonna do a clean, what was that, like 65%? Which is low enough. My opponent KO'd us with Body Press, of course, but we did enough damage, I believe. I want to see what +0 Poltegeist does against this. +0 should do over 50%, and Victini can't switch into this either, so that should be perfect for us. Let me jot this down. Skarmory takes out Arctozolt. And we're just going to casually click Shadow Ball here to take out the Skarmory. And so at this point we should be okay. My opponent's choice locked still, so we can see what they're going to choice lock themselves into and hopefully come up with some sort of battle plan accordingly. I would love if they clicked V-Create, but we'll have to see. They are indeed going to click V-Create, so their speed is going to drop, and... oh, and they got disabled. That's unfortunate. So now they're going to struggle. So we're just going to go ahead and go into Landers here, but I think that's GG. So Victini takes out Poltegeist, and Landers should take out Victini here. So GG, Will, that was a fantastic battle. I'm glad that we got to see Poltegeist put some work in before it leaves the roster. And who knows, if Cloyster underperforms for us, maybe we will trade back for Poltegeist. The future is uncertain. So as always, thank you for watching. That was a third win for us this season. That was a 3-0 win. So we are now sitting at 3-0 and +8 differential. So that's great. We should still be at the top of our division with that. And who do we play next week? Next week we are playing one of the other new teams in the league this year, the Windsor Weaviles. So that'll be exciting. So that's all for now. Until next time, farewell.